Welcome to this podcast talk. We're going to work with Crimea River, come up with some chord voicings. I would say one really big goal, or maybe you're already there, but let me know, is to be able to improvise really chord melody on the spot. But if you're a beginner or an intermediate player, it may take a little bit of time to get to that place. So we're going to go over a little bit of the process of finding the notes and the chord voicings to play. We're going to play this in G, just like the Julie London recording is in G, but we're going to have slightly different phrasing and rhythms to our melody. Notes will be the same. So to start out with, let's see, we have an E minor chord, right? And we have this F sharp in the melody. So one thing you want to work towards is being able to identify how this melody note relates to the chord. Oftentimes, melody notes fit right into the chord symbol, basic chord symbol itself, but sometimes it doesn't. So at the beginning here, we have a 9. So we have the 9. And then we're right into the chord tones after that, right? So we have, right? So there, root note, fret, excuse me, the 5th and the flat 3rd. So, okay, then we get back into the 9 again, and then the root. Okay, now these notes all have numbers, and you have the kind of the conventions of how chords are spelled out. So you want to gain some familiarity over time on that. So the 9 sits 2 frets up from the root note, and it's 1 fret below the minor 3rd. So you can try to think about where it sits in proximity if you haven't been able to identify them by name yet. But you can also sound it out as well. We get into A minor. Okay, and again, these are our chord tones, right? Okay, and then we have one non-chord tone there with that D. So that's a big takeaway too. Is it a non-chord tone or a chord tone? Oftentimes, chords or standards, the chord tone of the melody will oftentimes be the 3rd of a given chord. So in this case, we have a G major 7, and this note is the major 3rd. A little bit of motion here. Do a 2-5 in E minor. Okay, and then we're going to go up. Okay, so here we're working with the B minor 7, flat 5. So you can think about the voicing. B minor 7, flat 5. This would be the first inversion of that chord. Okay, and then we play a half step below that and then back to it. So that's the 11 and the flat 5. And then we move over to the E7, flat 9. Out of context or on the surface, it looks or sounds like diminished seventh chord, but we're thinking E7 flat 9 on this. Okay, and then I'm just changing the voicing around a little bit. Okay, so we have okay. Now another thing when you're arranging for chord melody, or whether you're doing it on the fly or writing out an arrangement, sometimes you may just want to simply play a chord that doesn't have the melody in it. And sometimes you might even want to play a little bit of melody without any harmony on it. So you have to make those choices. And here I'm going to go into this kind of D sus sound, make the chord change, and then play some single notes again, and then land on the G chord. So that gives us a little bit of a simple chord melody to kind of work from. So big takeaway here is that you want to be able to place the melody note as your highest note in the voicing. So that's probably the most common thing to do. And then you want to be able to identify how a melody note relates to a chord, right? And then you find moments where you might need to think about, well, should there be a chord maybe without a melody note to keep things kind of rolling along, right? Let's talk a little bit about the bridge part. All right, so we end up in B minor. Okay, we can set that up with a 2-5 in B minor, so that would be C sharp minor 7 flat 5 to F sharp 7, and then we go into, let's say, a B minor 6. Of course, we could harmonize all of those notes, so you have to make a choice on what you want to do. But I will say that this is all leading up to a video I'm going to put out, so you might get a jump ahead on some of the sounds and some of the arrangement if you intend to check that out. Okay, we have a B minor 6 chord. Okay, playing those as single tones. Then I'm going to play C sharp minor 7 flat 5, and that melody note would be the root. It comes back to the same melody note, but now the harmony is shifting underneath it, so we have the F sharp 7 flat 9. Okay, so we have that. So okay, and we're going to go climb up the neck here a little bit. So you can hear the harmony under it. So I just went from the B minor 6 into the C sharp minor 7. Play kind of a low note, and that kind of gives the ear opportunity to hear just the chord, and maybe play a little bit softer so that it doesn't sound like you're suggesting a melody note. Okay, and then we're gonna go back to where we were before. Now we have a shift in the harmony here, right? So we have the B6, so I'm playing a B6. It's got a 9 in the melody. Okay. So I'm playing those as single notes, and then we could do a little, just like the Julie London recording, although they were down here. Barney Kessel was down there, but I'm playing here in sixth position, moving into seventh, and then you play this chord B7 sharp 5 sharp 9. Funny, I just did a short on that chord voicing, although it was on A. It was an A7 chord, and it was slightly different context, but the same chord voicing. Okay, and then we could play this chord, which is kind of cool too. We have the root note. That'll be kind of a pickup into a repeat of the A section again. Okay. So what you may want to do is play something that's maybe simple and effective, and then try to see if you want to make some changes or make it more complicated. So if you're playing with musicians and maybe you haven't played with before, you're playing a kind of casual gig or something, you might not want to do a whole ton of complicated things that the bass player has to try to catch you on, or you could always feel them out and try this and that and feel it out as you go, and see if they're kind of on the same page with you. But sometimes it's just really good to start simple. Now, if you're doing an audition and you're playing a solo or something, or have a specific arrangement, there's a place for that as well, or doing a concert kind of thing where maybe you have time to do a rehearsal. Right. So there's some things to kind of consider as you're putting together a chord melody. But I'm going to be putting this together in a few days. I've been writing it out, and I think I may prepare a new bass line. Originally, I was thinking about having the same bass track that I laid down for the Julie London kind of comping lesson that I did, but I think I may change that up just to fit with what I'm doing better. All right, everybody. Thanks for checking this out. We'll mention that I will be offering guitar lessons now, opening that up for the online folks out there, and YouTube or any social media. So check out the link below. I'm also starting out a guitar improvisation workshop on Saturday at 2 o'clock, and turn this into a regular thing. And so love for you to join us. There's limited space. I think I'm limiting it to just 10. So if you are interested, I would go ahead and grab a seat for that. And then I also mentioned that there's a video version for the benefit of the Lessons and Talks viewers here on the YouTube channel. But you can find this YouTube channel, or you can find this podcast on pretty much all the major outlets. But I have been uploading the audio versions to the YouTube channel at Footprints, and it is definitely geared to an audio only experience as well. So this is something that you could listen to in the car, and maybe get a little ear training value out of it, maybe a little visualization if you're checking things out, and also do things by ear if you have your guitar on you. See if you can find some of the voicings and notes that I'm playing. All right, everybody. We'll have a great practice session, and I will see you all in the next one.